Having the right social media strategy is going to allow you to post with purpose. And if you're like most business owners and posting without purpose, then you're just wasting precious time and effort. And in this video, we are laying out your social media strategy for 2024. Hey business owners, I'm Brad Ball, your host of the Grind and Grow Marketing Show, and let's jump right into this social media strategy for 2024. We're going to cover what to post, when to post what, how often you post, and some excellent social media tips. All right, so what to post. So I always recommend people creating content pillars. Basically, it's categories of content that you know that you can post about, that your audience would want to hear about, and that correlate to the services you offer. The next piece is understanding where your customer is at in the buyer journey. There are 3 stages we're going to talk about: the awareness stage, the consideration stage, and the decision stage. In the awareness stage, it's making them aware that they have a problem and educating them on that problem. We are not selling or focusing on us, we are focusing on them. The next stage is the consideration stage. Here they are researching their solutions, and we want to educate them on available solutions. And lastly is the decision phase. Now they are aware they have the problem, understand the possible solutions, and are looking for the who that can solve that problem for them. And are you the person that can solve that problem for them? Are you their solution? All right, now let's talk about different types of content. One is educational content. This is going to help position you as a thought leader and build credibility. 2 is problem-aware content and agitation content. So this is the content that is going to grab their attention, tug at their emotions, and helps create a connection that you understand them. It's content that brings the problem into focus and agitates the problem and shows that you understand what that problem is and that you identify with them. And next is behind the curtain content. So this is things like testimonials, a day in the life, the projects that you're working on, the results you're getting people. This type of content creates likability, personal connections, and if it's, you know, when you meet someone that you follow for the first time and it feels like you already know them, but you've never met them, you've only just seen their content. Well, that's usually because of transparency content, because you've gotten to know, like, and trust them. All right, so let's move on to where to post what. So I'm going to break this down into different platforms. The first we're going to talk about is TikToks and Reels. So TikToks are going to help you get reach and exposure into an audience who doesn't know you. So if you think about it, when you post on TikTok or you post Reels, it's going to go out to people who aren't always following you, right? It's going to go out to a lot of people who have never seen you before. So on TikTok, it's going to go on the For You page, and it's going to, almost every TikTok you put out, it's going to be to an audience that has never seen you before. When you post Reels, it's going to go out to, yes, your audience, but also many more people who have never seen you before. So the content that works well with TikToks and Reels is educational content, problem-aware content, and agitation content. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is Instagram stories and Instagram posts. So this is going to be great for building connection and nurturing that audience. So when you post a story or you make a post on Instagram, it's really only going to go out to people that are following you and decided to follow you because maybe they saw your TikToks or your Reels. So content to post here is behind the scenes content, testimonials, your sales content, your offering content, like the things that you're offering, your call to action content, the results that you're getting people. That type of content works well for stories and for posts because it's going to be nurturing them into taking action. Okay, so the next I'm going to talk about is niche Facebook groups. So this is niche in itself. So they are great for connecting with the right audience and creating conversations with potential clients. So, and I'm not talking about your own Facebook groups that you created, because that's a whole nother thing. I'm talking about just when you're in a Facebook group that is hosted by someone else, they are typically a niche around a service, around a problem, around a thing, or around an audience. And if you're in these audiences or in these groups that where your potential clients are, it's a great way for you to create these connections. Some content that works well here is really just answering people's questions and offering help and being in the conversation. All right, the next platform that we're going to talk about is LinkedIn. So this is great for B2B, business to business. If you didn't know that already, most people pretty much know that part. It's great for building connections and having conversations. It's not great for just posting up your content and hoping a lot of people see it. That doesn't work at all. It's about connecting with people and having conversations. So if you're not doing that, it's not going to probably work that well for you. The content that works well on LinkedIn is educational content, problem-aware content, agitation content, just helping types of content, things that are going to offer value. And I recommend experimenting with more text-based posts versus just putting up a video. What we find is usually text-based posts work better than just putting a video up there. That is LinkedIn. All right, the next one is Threads. Now, I'm going to be completely transparent. I am not a big user of Threads personally, but it made the list because of this. It is primarily new at the time of recording this. So anything new is usually good to jump on. There's just less competition. People are still learning the app and the platform. And it's the people that have developed it, Facebook, is going to push it. So that's what you want to do. You want to get on the new thing and be the new guy on the block. With TikTok, when TikTok first came out, you could get followers pretty quick and easy. It's pretty saturated now. It's a lot harder to get. It's not the same. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's different than it was a few years ago. Threads would be the same way. So this is great for creating connections and having conversations. It's just like, well, not just like, but it's like Twitter, right? So it's very conversational. So if you're just on there like posting stuff, you can just go out there and post your videos or, post images and all of that. But if you're not having conversations and engaging with people, again, it's probably not going to work, which is pretty common on most platforms. The content that works well on Threads would be answering people's questions, offering help, being educational, and really allowing your personality to be exposed a bit more. So that is Threads. Give it a try if you're not already on it. All right, so now how often should you be posting? Well, I will say when it comes to social media, consistency is key. So pick a posting schedule that works for you. Now, of course, posting more is better, right? That's obvious. But I will say posting consistently is better than anything. So if you're posting more and can't keep up with more and then you end up falling off, you would have been better just being consistent. If consistent means one post a week, then that's what that is. Stay consistent. Eventually, you might get to 2, you might get to 3, you might get to 1 a day, you might get to 3 a day. Whatever, be consistent with whatever you can do in your business. All right, so let's go through some tips for social media success. One is go into it with the right mindset. So social media remember, it's just a tool to help your business grow. That's all it is, right? Some people get hung up in the numbers and think that their success of their business lives and dies with Instagram, and it does not. So it's just a tool. Use it as a tool to help you grow. Oftentimes, it's the assist in the purchase process. All right, the next tip is to go into social media knowing your objective. Are you trying to build connections? Are you trying to list build? Are you trying to get website traffic? Are you just trying to create education and awareness and become a thought leader in your industry? Because knowing that brings us into the next thing, measure what matters. If you know what your objective is, then you know what you need to measure. And I will say this, the one thing you do not need to measure is what other people's numbers are. Other people's success on social media has nothing to do with your success on social media. So if someone else has a certain number of followers, has nothing to do with the success of your business. I've seen many times people that have tons of followers and get no sales from their social media. and you might just have 500 followers and get tons of sales. So just don't worry about what other people's numbers are. The next thing is stay consistent, which we already kind of talked about, but I would recommend batch creating your content. And then use auto posting tools. There's a million of them out there. So this is just going to help you with getting your posts and making sure that you're consistently getting those posts out there. Because if you do it day to day, things come up within the day and then you don't get to it or you forget or whatever. So put it in something that's automated if you can. And then the last tip is to use the latest features that are prominent on these platforms. So at the time that you're listening to this might be different than the time we're recording it, so we're not going to go into the latest features because the latest features won't be the latest features maybe when you hear this. So whatever the latest features are of the platform you're on, I recommend using them because typically what's happening is that platform is going to be pushing people's content that are using those features. Okay, my last thing when it comes to your social media strategy is your overall goal should always be getting your audience off of social media and onto your list. So if you'd like to talk more about that, shoot me a DM or shoot me an email at brad@liquisdigital and we can have a conversation on how that can happen. And until then, we'll see you in the next video.